How's it going, everybody? Circling up from the mosh pit. Excuse me. I had been in my feels this morning. I just checked out Baby No Money's and Iron Mouse's collab song. And for some reason, man, it just hit me between the eyes. I love when the internet gives a damn to collaborate. We're not being petty. We're not trying to use each other to get up to the top. We, especially in the music scene, we come together to be like, we're going to make a good song together. Ren is one of the most respected artists in the indie music scene right now. I was worried about our boy Ren for a minute. Not because of the whole Cujo thing. He's stronger than one crappy producer, but he had some health scares, dude. And I didn't hear hide nor hair of him. I was expecting another great music video, and then we weren't getting anything for a little bit. And I was like, oh man, I hope we're doing okay. So for him doing a collab with Token is awesome, first of all. But then also Token, man, so many people immediately go for the, oh, he's a fast white rapper. He's nothing. They are missing out. They are missing out on a truly talented person. He has done so much, not just in terms of rap, but in music. He's done a lot of different stylistic stuff, and you do well to check out his catalog. So this is the music video, the official music video for their song, What Does Your Love Look Like? And I guess they filmed this at Chris Webby's house, who is another guy who makes his rounds on the internet. He's doing a lot of stuff. I haven't listened to him, though. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see all this. Let's just go into it.
I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
So first of all, I think Token can really sing. Like I know there's, a bigger reason to just kind of remain husky with it if you're rapping, or, just if you're just kind of crooning some lyrics for a song. You don't really need to hit, a note very well, but I bet this guy could really sing if he really pushed himself. I also just love seeing Ren in, his element here. Like he's busking on the streets again, just strumming that guitar. God damn, I have been in my feels this morning, dude. I just, for real though, I was nervous about Ren for a minute. Like over the last few months. Didn't hear much of him. And it's, it made me worried. So anyway, we're getting back into this. Let's go.
As much as I do want to love you, I feel like we're speaking two different languages. Your house had a gate and mine had instigated, so that's the environment we feel safer in. You thought it was crazy how long that it took me to tell you I love you, like that was the weirdest. I only heard dad say I love you with mom in the room when he went back to singing his lyrics. So how could you blame me, because you always choose to. You always choose to. You want to...
Ooh, throwing the synth in there, kind of going in like a atmospheric trap direction. Was not expecting that. Damn it. You're a product of what you see, but also a product of what you hear. I saw that notice at the beginning of the video. Yeah, what you see affects your brain. Your love map getting worked out that way when you're growing up. But then also what you hear, what you expect to hear from other people. It does affect your language. It does affect how you see communication. I'm going to keep going because I'm just going to be sitting here for like 2-3 minutes trying to compose myself. I just get the idea of hearing I love you or I'm proud of you too late. I might mention something more about that later, but let's just keep going here.
Know where I be at all the time, but that's not what I'm used to. Not what I'm used to. You knew where your dad was at work or he's home when he's taking the load up. I didn't know where until 1:24 the day I got that phone call. And I let the phone drop. I'm trying to be my best to be a gentleman. I'm trying to learn. I never had the chance. I still look to my manager, but he gon' teach me how to be a rapper before a good man. I grew up afraid to find a letter on mama's dresser telling us goodbye. I'm used to it all, so you don't gotta hold back and cry. But I gotta tell you why I'm not.
Ooh. Dude. Him saying, yeah, this is the experience I've had, which is why it's hard for me to open up and to love, but also know that I have been through it so I can handle your emotions because I've been through this stuff, so I'm strong. I can be someone that you can rely on. Dude, that's a powerful way of flipping it. I hadn't heard that idea spoken very much before. That, yeah, I've been through some stuff, so it makes it hard for me to love, but I've also been through some stuff, so I'm someone who is sturdy. Like, dude, that's oof. Yeah, I'm still not feeling any better expressing my thoughts about what I was saying earlier, so I'm gonna keep it in, and we're gonna keep going here.
I write for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you.
This sounds like someone's playing the piano downstairs.
What does your love look like?
Dude.
What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
Dude, Ren just staring at him like a seasoned professional. Like, if you guys saw any of his busking videos and stuff, he is a pro. He is a musician's musician. On the corner with the guitar, singing, putting himself out there. While I haven't shared much of his music on this channel, mainly because of his health issues and stuff, I always tried to hit up his channel every time he posted something. It was mostly on my previous channel where I checked out his other stuff. And I gotta say, his army, his fans, some of the most dedicated people ever. And not only that, but just such a eclectic and incredibly talented person. And he even responded to some of my videos and was appreciative for it. And I was like, it's just crazy to me because at the time I specifically was mostly focused on like VTubers and that kind of content, which is mostly what I do here. But I made it a point to actually really check out a lot of stuff on this channel. When on my other channel, I started branching out a lot later. And I remember putting out a reaction video to his song Hi Ren. And it immediately got claimed, which for those of you who don't know, if a video gets claimed, it's not going to hit the algorithm, which is fine. Even indie artists can be like, hey, this is my song. I don't want people monetizing off of it. Totally fine. That's their prerogative. I'd rather have that than a stupid ass UMG company, claiming monetization, but then also holding it over you like they could just strike your channel, like the terrible people they are. But so, I noticed the video got claimed, but then, he owns the song. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get in trouble having this on my channel, but man, it's not going to get very many views. And especially since it's not what my channel is about, no one's going to watch it. But then his fans came through and it got to be one of the biggest videos on my channel. And I don't do that to be like, yay, I got all these views, I'm so great. It just amazes me when you get fans who just, they support their talent so much. It's the same thing if we're talking VTubers. Neurosama and The Swarm. Every time I put out a video, they have blown that thing up. And it's anyway, I'm shutting the hell up here.
What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? I'm not right for you, but I won't get up and leave. Cause I hate the pain that is colour my veins, that is present in solitary. What does your love look like? Does it look black and white? Is it your
horns?
Do all your demons get louder at night and the voices get softened when we're intertwined? I've been going to therapy lately, cause the cause and effect made me hate the way that I feel when the loving gets real. Cause I just wanna run and escape the pressure that paints me. Pressure of safety, pressures of promises that turn to maybes. Pressure of bravely moving in the same direction. The pressure been driving me crazy.
So first of all, I want to think that this is a callback to, his Hi Ren music and all of those where he's talking about therapy and, the in his style as well. Just in how he talked about going to therapy, it sounded very similar to his previous song. Maybe I'm just wanting to make a connection there. Let me have this, okay? I'm in my feels. I can't think straight, okay? But also, he's been so open and honest about his struggles. And not just because of the health issues that he's had that have given him reason to hold back in a lot of ways, but also just bad, or not bad relationships, I'm sorry, but like relationships where it hurts. He's lost friends. He's lost love. He's lost those kinds of things. I still don't feel any better trying to talk about my life. It's just I've gone through some stuff. And it's so easy to be like, okay, I'm just going to hold back because even though this hurts, I can only imagine how much more it will hurt if I open up. That's the assumption that we make in our hurt. It's not true. And I'm just going to keep going here.
Therapist said that these wounds that I kept were created when I was a kid. And just like that, all my thoughts raced back to a Welsh town, 96. My mother was crying, my father was screaming and shouting, denying the sin of deceiving and cheating and lying. The weeds are uprooted, the garden is dying, but still she forgives. This cycle repeats. Every night I try to sleep, hearing the screams through concrete. Mothering peace, a vision of love, a lesson that fused with the cells in my blood. A lesson that taught me that love ain't enough and that love can be porcelain when times get tough. Flash forward 5 years later, sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's car with my maker. My dad looked shaken, turned to face him. The words that he spoke cutthroat like razor. He said, Ren, sometimes love can be complicated, navigating a world that we co-created. And I've made mistakes, but I will love you daily. And just like that, it's just me, my mum and my sis. The stress left mum disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new.
I want to comment on this, but he's just going. He's just going. So I'm just gonna dial it back, and then we're gonna just let him go. It's just talking about his life experience. Incredible inner rhyme schemes, incredible specificity on certain accents of syllables. That's just a level of his artistic ability that is wonderful. Yeah. And I'm just gonna let him speak now.
And my sis, the stress left mum disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new man. Strong for my sister, my mum at a loose end. Confused but moving through the confusion. My born new love feels fake like what does your love look like? Does it tear your inside? Does it keep you up at night? My brother. Does it make you feel like a fist in the windpipe? Suffocate the feeling of what love's meant to feel like. Navigating you, but I'm still not quite right. One night stand, make the pain stop one night. One more heart to the blade of my cold night. What does your love look like?
And you know what? So, first of all, him having to accept the dad's out of the picture, and he's like, okay, I got to be strong for my mom and my sister. Okay. Sometimes that happens. That's how our body can develop and strengthen itself. You know, we adapt. That's what I meant to say. But when you're a kid, that shouldn't have to happen. Because while that's going on, while you are trying to be more so you can support your family and that kind of thing, you have just put aside that very important growth time in your life where you are supposed to be nurtured. Now you are no longer being nurtured. You are the one trying to keep the boat from sinking. Incredible that we do that, and incredible that Ren jumped into the driver's seat and was like, okay, let's go, literally. But that shouldn't have had to happen, because look at what he just said. Well, now, since I don't have my dad, since I don't even have my mom, she's not really present. Now I'm a kid who needs to be nurtured and loved and poured into, and that's not happening now. So now, okay, yeah, I'm in the driver's seat for the next few years. But then who was pouring into me? So you missed out on all of that, man. It's terrible. But I also find it so interesting. I'm going to try to speak to my life here, because it's applicable to what he said, so I'm not, taking us off on too big of a tirade or tangent. Feeling like it's a fist to your windpipe when you don't have love in your life. I'll tell you this. Sometimes real love can feel like a fist to the windpipe. When you haven't experienced it, when you have been restricted from any sort of real connection, when you've been made to feel less for years, and I don't mean this from my parents, I mean with romance. When you have ripped yourself apart for years, telling yourself that you're undeserving, that you aren't enough, and then real love comes in and truly loves you and wants you for you, it feels like a punch to the face. You're left reeling, like you just got in a fight, and someone just bopped you right in the face and you are unable to understand what just happened because that's not what you've experienced. That's not what you're used to. There's that side of it too. It's crazy how our brain can process stuff like that. Even something good can feel almost like a threat if you've never had good experiences. Oh my gosh.
What does your love look like? You realize how hard that I work and you told me you feel for me. If I lost all my motivation tomorrow, would you still love me? It's easy to love when I'm up, when I'm down and you leave it. You can't even give me an answer cause you never seen it, and that's why it's hard to believe it. If you need a
the scene right there. One-to-one comparison of what he experienced, what he saw. He even saw that dad does care. He just works really hard. And that's his way of showing love, but also, you know, even back in our parents' days, let's not act like it's only in today's economy that people are working so hard. We've always worked so hard. And even men too. There's a lot of men who just don't know how to express themselves, and they turn to work. They turn to providing in that way, right? And that's great and all, but there has to be a point where you can reach down and be like, this is where I'm coming from, which is why I love that Token is putting this in music. So, but anyway, to go back to the videography, that one-to-one shot, and then him saying, hey, you know, I'm trying to do the most hard work that I can to show you that I care. Oh my gosh.
You can't even give me an answer cause you never seen it, and that's why it's hard to believe it. If you need help but I'm too far away, is it over for you? Maybe I'm just not the person for you, even though I still could be the soul for you. Maybe we are meant to be together, but our history got in the way. Your trust issues, my fear issues, too many issues at play. You yell fast, I get quiet, you wanna see more passion. I've seen what real yelling can lead to, so no, I don't have it. I grew up afraid to see holes in a wall in a room that was locked from inside. I promise I'm used to it all. You don't gotta ever hold back and cry, but I gotta tell you why I'm not right.
Ooh. Seeing holes in the wall from a room that was locked on the inside. So there's that obvious comparison of you locking yourself in your room and just punching the wall. I've never been that angry. I've never been. I've never thrown my fist through a wall because there's always part of me that's aware of, like, no matter how angry I am, I know that it'll hurt. Now, I've thrown things before, but I've never thrown a punch like that. But also that idea of being locked up inside who you are. You're locking yourself up and beating yourself up, you know? And just that comparison. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's so much like what NF talks about the mansion being yourself, being your headspace, comparing who you are to a building that has many rooms, many facets of it. We're all like that, even if, you know, some people try to act like it's not. So anyway.
I'm used to it all. You don't gotta ever hold back and cry, but I gotta tell you why I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
Oh, man. That's so dope. By Ben Prulux. I don't know that name. That's cool, though. I really love the video shot. I loved the real, footage of them, just kind of collaborating. Made me think of, like, the initial drafts of the song. You're sitting together, just strumming on the guitar, writing stuff down. I love that. But yeah, and then the music video shot very well. Acting was great in terms of the family. The girl was doing great. It was awesome. But you guys tell me your thoughts in the comments. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that.